I want to ask you about the multi-ethnic character of Sembawang and Nee Soon.
Yes,
So you
yes,
mentioned just now the Kuan brothers. So there were Chinese
yes.
there, and among your
Yeah.
neighbors in Nee Soon, there were many Chinese there
Although
as
many,
well.
yeah, mostly in Nee Soon was mostly Chinese. I still remember, and I was really I went to Nee Soon school. My principal at that time was one Mr. C. Chan Bok. He was my school principal, and I can remember in 1962, when I was in primary 4, Lee Kuan Yew visited Nee Soon school. I still remember. So he come checking with all of us. I still remember that in 1962.
So wait, you were at Nee Soon school as well. This
Yes,
was
primary
before.
school.
Okay, primary school.
Yes.
You remember what Lee Kuan Yew said?
Oh, he was. I can't remember. He come and check in with us. I remember one of my class girls when garland him. I can't remember what he speak about. Mostly, we all were students there. Maybe he didn't give a speech as such. I don't remember. Normally, they erect a platform for speakers, but he just come visit the school, walk around and talk to the students and the teachers and so on and so forth. He didn't give a speech as such.
Right. And you also told me before a story of David Marshall, did you?
Yes. I remember. In 1955, I was quite small, no? David Marshall, Sri Narayan Mission, that was a small hut, no? They have this Guru birthday celebration. David Marshall was the guest of honor. I still remember him, he was wearing, what do you call it, this famous
bush jacket.
Bush coat, what do you call it? Just he come there. There's one event going on. No, suddenly he come. It's an open field. He walked through the field and he come to the stage. Immediately stop everything. They call on him and he go and give a speech in English, but I can't remember. But I was very small. No, after that he left. I still remember that. That was it. It should be 1955 because he was the chief minister of Singapore in 1955.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
Did you ever go inside the naval base or one of these bases?
Oh, I used to go down. I used to go down very often because I got many friends and relatives who are living in Naval Base. Those days in Naval Base, you have to go in. Somebody must sponsor you in. You just can't walk in. Somebody is living there. They have to come to the gate and sponsor you in. And I think only the sponsorship only valid for one day. You have to leave by midnight. No, you want to stay overnight. You have to get special permission. And in those days, they used to have a bus service inside Naval Base, catering the people at Naval Base. There was also a hospital, no? And Naval Base, the hospital is still there, but now it's being, I think it's being, it's a welfare home, Naval Base Hospital. Now, Swami Home is there. They call it Swami Home, for the former Naval Base Hospital. And
when you go inside the naval base, where specifically would you go?
I used to go to Block 4, Block 5, Block 9. These are places where my father's friends and relatives live. So those I still remember those quarters. Made from concrete.
That's right.
True story.
How many story?
Two story. Ground floor and first floor. Wow. Ground floor and first floor.
This is Canberra Road?
This is Canberra, yeah, Canberra Road, yeah. Normally in Canberra Road, yeah. The block, I think 4, 5, all along Canberra Road. Yes, right.
These were the naval base quarters
naval
for
base,
the Asians,
yes.
right?
Yes, Asians. And most of the Asians who used to work there, most of the clerks, some of them, they used to work in the dockyard, fitters and welders and drivers, and most of them are people like that. And there are also a few clerks also.
Yeah. I mean, another common occupation of the Malayalis was the technical trade. They are very good.
Yes,
technical skills, fitters.
Yes. Fitters are welders. I know. Yeah, correct. I think the ships come alongside. They used to go to the ship and do all the work in the ship those days. The naval base, the warships and all this.
When you went inside the naval base, did it feel like it's not Singapore? It's like a
no, exactly. Yeah. The environment is completely different. No, there was a lot of not so many Chinese there, a lot of Indians there, more of a, like we say, bit of an Indian environment. Most of the people who are living in those blocks are mostly Indians. A lot of that, they're Chinese too, but I think there are more Indians than Chinese in Naval Base in those days. And but the Chinese people, they're living outside. They're living in Sembawang. Most of them don't stay in the blocks. They stay outside, and mostly more for Indian environment, I would say that. And they're also.
I think also the whole landscape is different, right?
Oh, wow, they're different, yeah, exactly different. No, not what you used to. What you want to in Sembawang. I mean, what can you Naval Base in Talia? Different, the structure is completely different, because what you see outside and what you see inside is different. Dave said, I don't think those many people won't cars and all this in Naval Base. Most of them, they used to drive bicycles. That's the main mode of communication. Bicycle.
That famous photograph of the gates of the naval base.
Yes,
all
yes,
the
yes, yes.
bicycles going
Yes.
in, right?
You got it. Those most of them work in the HMS Tokia. This is where the ships come alongside. So all of them are working as welders and fitters and drivers and and most of the people, they live in the quarters in Naval Base. They don't live outside. Most of them live inside the quarters. And there's a hospital there. Then there's a cinemas there. I think there's also a police station there. Yeah, there's a police station. And a lot of Indian mess, people. Most of the people who live there, especially they are bachelors, so they don't have their family here. So there are a lot of messes, people go there, they have their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have there, So payday they make payments, Oh, if it's a bachelor, they don't most of them don't cook and eat themselves. They used to go to this shops. There are a lot of shops there, catering for this Indian shops.
What are your memories of Chong Pang Village?
I used to every day I used to go to Naval Base. Guys, you get down in Sembawang and to walk up all the way to Naval Base School. Those days, in that time, there were 3 schools. One is Naval Base, one is Westhill, one is Canberra. All are in the same complex, Only in Naval Base they have secondary school. Westhill and Canberra, all are primary schools.
Sorry, what were the 3? Canberra, Naval Base, and the third one?
Westhill.
Westhill
Okay. Primary school.
Okay. Right.
Only Naval Base they have primary and secondary. Westhill and only primary. So most of the people who are living in Naval Base, they used to come down to any one of these schools, to study, And those days they have the morning session and afternoon session. Very common, I think, in all of Singapore, they have morning and afternoon. Normally the primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, I think in those days were in the morning session. 4, 5, 6, mostly in the afternoon session. Something like that.
Was it fun to be in school in those days?
No. Those days we were very playful. In fact, I look past many of them. I mean, they were very good at studies. I mean, many of them did very well, especially in Naval Base School. Many of my cohort, they did very well. Many of them went to university and they did well in their career. In fact, last Friday, we had a gathering, 1968 cohort. I have the photo with me. We had a gathering, So all of us who studied in Naval Base School during my batch, we all get together. Usually once in 2 to 3 years. We had one last Saturday.
How many were present?
There were about 30 of us managed to make it. Our cohort is quite a big cohort, but for this particular function, 30 of us were there.
Any footballers there?
Yeah, Kim Song was there. And there's some others also, Kumar passed away. Kumar used to be a very good footballer too, but he passed away 2 years ago. Sivaji at the moment, I think, is in Australia. He's not able to make it. But some came down from the States, in the United States. One girl is married, she came down, and one came down from Britain. There are 2 still the people in my cohort who left Singapore after leaving school, but they came down for this for the reunion.
What else was there in Chong Pang Village? Do you remember? It was quite a lively village.
Yes. There are a lot of shops, I remember there used to be bicycle repair shops, a lot of messes, tailor shops, barber shops, so many, all in Chong Pang Village, And yeah, basically, most of these shops, I mean, I don't know, all the books. There's one bookstore, well-known bookstore. It's known by Chinese man. I remember, I forgot his name. It's quite a big bookstore. We used to go and buy books from there, and all. But and others are mostly quite a lot of Indian shops, tailors, barbers, uh, 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 restaurant, messes and all this. This is in Naval Base. In Naval Base, I don't remember. There were not many bars and all this on there. Not like Nee Soon. They don't have what is bars. They may have, but not around that location. Maybe elsewhere. in Chong Pang Village, they don't have any bars and all this.
And of course, that famous cinema you mentioned, right?
Sultan Theatre, yes, it's in Sembawang, yeah. It's on the way, you have to pass Sultan Theatre on the way to go to either one of these schools, Sembawang or Bestial or Canberra School.
It's owned by a Chinese, right? I think.
I know the book, yeah, it's actually SULT and Sultan, so not a Malay word, no, I think it's owned by Chinese. It's two words, but we call it Sultan, but it says SULT and it's two words,
Really? I always thought it's one word.
No, it's two words.
So SULTAN.
STN, two separate Sultan. I think it's owned by Chinese, not a Malay, anything like that.
You talked in the beginning, right, that Sembawang and Nee Soon used to be so different. Of course, we have this phrase "Wulu Sembawang," right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, it was hard for someone from the city to come to Sembawang in those days.
Yes, of course, because the environment is completely different. It's a bit like what you're going to Sembawang is reminiscent to say every Sunday you go down to say Saringon Road on weekends. It's something like that. That's how you need to equate to like city. People who are living in the city now, you go down to say Saringon Road on a Sunday evening. You can see the environment. You can see the change in the environment. I would say something like that.
You mentioned. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I still remember, when I was in Nee Soon school, in 1964, there was a race rate, that day we were having a composition test, So I managed to write the first paragraph. Suddenly the principal comes in, all of you, that test is cancelled. All of you, please go home. Then I was so happy. I didn't know the severity of this race rights and all this. I said, okay, so good. Because we had a few days holidays, So I remember staying at home and watching TV. I still remember there was curfew imposed and all, a lot of Nee Soon, but there's no incident in Nee Soon or in Sembawang. All very peaceful.
There was no racial tension in Nee Soon.
No, nothing. All mind their own business. Just life was normal. Only thing the curfew was there.
You mentioned earlier that when the British left, so many of the old businesses and the bars changed. Your own house, 42D Transit Road.
Completely demolished. Yes.
So when did that happen?
You see, I think in the mid-70s, the whole area is completely demolished in the mid-70s. All those huts we were living all went off. Even the stream is still there, but the stream is a canal. It's very nice now. But at those days, there was a lot of swamp and all this. But the canal, Nee Soon School is gone. All the present Springleaf, that is what used to be the Nee Soon area in the 1950s and 60s.
Just now you said there was a stream. Is that right?
Yes, stream. Yes.
Where is this stream?
The present canal, in this one canal there, that's a canal. I think they did very well. Now it's a canal.
Right, now it's a canal.
It's still there. The canal is still there.
Concrete, right? Now it's concrete.
Concrete, yes.
In the past, what was that? It wasn't?
Oh, it was a swampy stream, and every time it used to flood, sometimes the the water will come over to my house, because it's a wet flood and very, very swampy. And they used to have snakes and all this, in that area. Besides that, was jungle, jungle just behind my house. And yes, I saw telling you we used to breed chicken and all this those days. But every house they breed a few chicken. So my father okay, have a few chicken, but the ample space behind my house, the jungle and stream.
The water. How did you get your water? Was there a tap water?
Yeah. There was tap water. Yes. Only the toilets are the bucket system. Electricity and water was there was
there was pipe water,
right? There's pipe water. Yes, tap water. I think as I was telling you, there was no lamp in the streets. The first lamps came about. The street lamps came in 1964, 65. That is the period. Before that, at night it's completely dark.
Where did you all move to?
After in 1975, we moved because my sister got a job in PUB, so they have PUB quarters, those at Clemency Avenue. So we shift over there. Those houses are good houses, concrete houses, owned by the PUB.
Wow, that's very lucky. That's good house, all right.
Yeah, in the Newton area,
Yeah. Family happy to move there. Your father was happy to move there.
Yeah, of course. This are better. But Clemency only the transport system is much better. I used to work in the PSA, so it's not that far. I can take one bus direct to the port. And my sisters used to work in PUB. I think two of my sisters are working in the PUB, and others are the other many were teaching, and others are.
This is not
much better.
This is not Ambika, right?
Ambika was she was working. She was working as a librarian in Singapore Poly.
Right.
She was a librarian.
Right. And there was another sister who I met also. I think the younger one is there.
Yeah. Her name is Laila. She's still working in the Singapore Power and Gas. The early days she was in the PUB.
Really?
And one more sister. She migrated to Australia. She is also working in the PUB. Those days, I saw Nee Soon used to have an MP. And he used to be very active. I said Ong something. I can't remember. It's Ong.
This is the one before Tony Tan, right? No,
yeah.
Tony Tan was Sembawang.
Sembawang. There was an MP in Sembawang. His name is Tiong Eng Siong. This is in Sembawang. He has been an MP for a very long time. He says he used to be a staunch supporter of the Sri Narayana Mission. I think Tiong Eng Siong. He was MP for the Sembawang area. But Nee Soon, there's another MP, Ong something. I can't recall his name.
Right. Okay. Maybe do you know a little bit about the political history of Nee Soon and Sembawang, right? Because although a lot of is very much a PAP area now, but in the 50s and the early 60s,
yes.
It was a very anti-colonial left-wing place.
Yes, especially in Nee Soon, the Barisan Socialists is very, very strong there. I don't know. I think maybe they even won a seat. I'm not so sure, but I remember there was an office of the Barisan Socialists in Nee Soon. Those are very active. I remember in Nee Soon. In Sembawang, I'm not so sure, but I think Sembawang is PAP but they used to have a lot of.
I mean, in the 50s, Sidney Woodhull was there, right?
Yeah, Woodhull was there. Even this Puducherry, I think, Woodhull was there. He was in the Naval Base Union. There's one more fellow called. There are a few of them union leaders.
You mean Michael Fernandez?
Oh, Michael Fernandez, yes, Michael Fernandez, Woodhull. At that time, there's some conflict. Peter Vincent. He used to. He used to be the leader of this.
Peter Vincent was the shipyard, right?
Yeah, sure. Later on, he went on to be the chairman of NTUC. And NTUC, he started off from Naval Base. He used to be leader of the main union. But this Woodhull and this Fernandez, I think they break up factions. They're all small groups, but eventually.
Yeah, I mean the Naval Base Labor Union was one of the big unions of Singapore.
Yes. True. Because it's the same. Even when I work at the PSA, the unions are also very strong. During the 50s and 60s and all this.
Were there similar unions in the British Ordnance Depot, that area, Nee Soon Camp? Do you know? I mean, there are Asian workers there.
Yeah. But unions, I think in Transit Road, after the best of my memory, the unions were not that strong. But there were some who went on to be an MP. I think there's one in the 50s, they start off with the BOD, they come head of the BOD union, and I think one or two of them even went out to be an MP. I know one, Dr. Nair. I saw Mr. Nair. He went on to be a MP in under the Lim Hock's government, and a few of them not doing PP time, but during the Lim Hock's government. Few of them.
MPD Naya, is that?
MPD, I think, MPD, he was also under Lim Hock.
That's right.
MPD, his father-in-law was also there. Right. I can't remember. His MPD also from the he went on to be a leader in under Lim Hock's government.
Yeah.
And in Nee Soon, not the union. I mean, political. It's not. I know, but some social is very strong because they have a big Chinese community there. It was this Chinese community always used to support, but some socialists.
So in the Nee Soon area, were there Chinese villages?
Oh, of course, there's even I still remember. This was early days. They used to, some old Chinese people. They used to bring one pig, a male pig. They used to walk along the street. I always ask, why are they bringing this pig? And only later, much later, I was told, this pig is for meeting. I don't know how they do it, but they used to pick as male pig to some. I said, one man is mostly an old man. Big pig is to pull the pig along the road. I don't know where he goes to. I always say, why this pig? Only much later I realized there's a purpose behind this. The purpose is that of making papers. In Nee Soon, when the houses were all very in all type houses, and the roads also not so good. I mean, also the roads were not good, and there's no government polyclinics there. The nearest polyclinic is in, but all go down to Sembawang, and there were, I think, the two private doctors there, the GPs. One is Ramu and one is Dr. Tan. These are the two doctors. Whenever we are here, we used to go see one of them. And those days, even I think in 1950s, the nearest hospital was Singapore General Hospital. You had any serious illness, you have. I don't think this Toa Payoh. Those days, the Toa Payoh Hospital was there at that time. I think they only come much later, but during the 50s and all this, the only hospital. Any major sickness, you have to go down to Singapore General Hospital, Outram Road.
Yeah, so far.
I think only much later that the present, they have the Toa Payoh Hospital, that come around during the 60s, the Toa Payoh Hospital. But now I think
there was something called Sembawang Hospital, wasn't it?
Yeah. There is one. That's right. Inside Naval Base.
That is the Naval Base Hospital.
Yeah, Naval Base. The hospital is still there, but at the moment it's being run as a welfare. It's run by welfare group. They call it the Swami Home. For the people with the agency.
Am I right that when the British left, Naval Base Hospital became Sembawang Hospital?
Yes. For some time, it was Sembawang Hospital. Yes.
So it was open to the public. It was a public hospital?
Yeah, of course. Okay. There was a hospital. I think up to the 1980s, they used to admit patients all there, after the British left, the hospital was still there for some time.
Right.
I think maybe until the 1980s, I think. After that only, it was closed down and they let it out to the welfare agencies to run welfare homes,
Yeah, and Sri Narayana Mission
was
located there for a while, right?
Yes. It's a very good building, very good. With a big compound in front, the very nice hospital.
Yeah, but I mean, it was never meant to be like a modern permanent hospital, right? And you're right that Sembawang Nee Soon never really, until Khoo Teck Puat came about, right? Recently, we never really had a hospital.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, true. But this Sembawang Hospital, basically it's meant for the people who are living in Naval Base. It's not meant for outsiders. Only after the British left, they open up, to people who are living, or people who are living Sembawang and so on and so forth.
Right. By the way, just a quick question here. You work for PSA. Would you ever offered PSA quarters?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I joined the PSA in 1972. I think in around 1975. Those Spottiswoode Park, those flats. Those flats were built by the PSA. All of us got an offer. We want to buy one of those flats. But those days I was quite young. I can't be bothered to.
You should have. You should have, right?
Of course, those fantastic flats. And they also have PSA residential quarters. For rental. They one at Blair Plain.
That's right.
They also have one at Everton Park. There too. These are for PSA stuff. All rent for rented out by the PSA. So employees can rent a flat. It's a good flat. All solid structure. Either in Everton Park or in Blair Plain. When you want to buy in 1950, they have those posh flats at the Spottiswoode Park. Those are really good flats.
A good location.
Many people who bought it are really lucky. Because now the valuation has went up a lot.
That's right. Yeah. How come then now you are moved back to the north?
Now I'm living in Woodlands.
Yeah.
I was living in Ang Mo Kio before that.
Okay.
My first HDB house was in Ang Mo Kio.
Right. Okay.
I was in Tegi constituency. After that, I shifted over to Woodlands. Not so good. I was not so good as Ang Mo Kio, but still.
I know. I agree. As a fellow Woodlands resident.
Yeah.
But you basically live along the spine of Singapore, right?
Yes. Fine, yeah.
The north-south spine. You live
yes.
along the whole stretch.
Yes. Only I work in PSA. I was in the south. I traveled down to the port in the south. But otherwise, throughout my life, I was in the north.
I just have one last question, right? I mean, you talked about how much change that is unrecognizable now, right? Nee Soon and Sembawang. Yes. How do you feel about these changes?
Whenever I visit these places, I see the stream. The North Stream is very, I can't remember. There's nothing left, now there are a lot of private houses, the spring leaf and all these. So many private houses there. Only structure which remain there is that stream, Other than that, nothing is left there. All are gone. And Nee Soon Camp Transit Road now is I think it's taken over by the SAF. I think it's Air Force, I think. The camp is still there. All the shops, bars, all are really gone.
Do you think that we could, maybe document some of these history, going back to the British bases a bit more, so that people know what this area used to be? That Sembawang Nee Soon actually had a history, right?
Yes, of course, It's quite good. I mean, I think we should, because so many things are forgotten. And people, I've been living in the Nee Soon throughout my early life, so I can remember. But most of the people, they left. Once they the senior people can remember things. They are no more around. So, I think it's a good idea, and we should have something about Nee Soon. Maybe I can give more stories about how life was in Nee Soon was in the 50s and 60s.
How would you describe the life in those days? Was it also quite different?
Of course, different. Those days people are relatively poor. I mean, there are not many very people are working on. Most of them working as clerks and in transit, most of clerks, storekeepers, and all this, and they're not paid well. Those days, $400 is a big sum, but now it's not big. But things are cheap. I remember when I go to school, when I was in primary school, I bring 10 cents a day to school. 5 cents for a drink and 5 cents for a curry puff. 10 cents will be sufficient for one drink and one something to eat. There's snacks. all nuts and curry puffs and all this cakes and all this, all 5 cents. So 10 cents is, and when I go to Naval Base School, it's about 20 cents per day for my for my snacks. So 10 cents, one tea or some soft drink and something to eat. Nowadays, all. And those days, I still remember when I was in Nee Soon school, our pants was gray, shirt was white. But when I went to Naval School, it was white and white. These are the uniform I used to wear those days in my school days.
Do you miss your childhood days?
Of course, I like to, in fact, there's a small cohort of us, who lived in Nee Soon, throughout Nee Soon, during the 1950s and 60s. We have a group, once a while, we used to meet, we used to think of the old days in this Transit Road, and many of them are still around, but living in various parts of Singapore. We used to meet once a while.
So these two schools, right? Nee Soon School, is it still around?
No more. Another structure which is still there is this reservoir, this those days, there's a Seletar,
Yes.
No, there's one, the reservoir in Mandai Road. I think it's known as Seletar Reservoir, I think. The reservoir is still there. I used to take a walk up to the reservoir, quite a nice place along Mandai Road. The reservoir is still there. And those days, there's also, I remember, along that road, there's also a post office. There was a post office there along Mandai Road. And these are things that they have there. Those days, we take a walk to Seletar Reservoir. And I still remember in 1969, Queen Elizabeth's sister, I think it was a princess, one of those princess, came and declared that.
Is it Anne?
No, Anne. No, not Anne. It's Queen Elizabeth's sister, She's the one who come in 1969. She's the one who come there and declared suddenly I forgot her name. Declared that reservoir open in 1969.
Right. You boys, did you go around exploring the whole area?
Yeah, I used to go around. Those early days, they don't have, most of the houses in those days, they don't have television. If you want to go and watch television, there's one television in the community center you can watch there. Otherwise, there's some people who owns television. You say we go to their house and watch from. You can. Most of the houses, we don't have telephone, we don't have television. In fact, but only later, all of houses have. But life was quite boring, though. I mean, in a way, it's quite interesting, but life was very simple. Normally, there's not much activities. We used to do the sports one, and we used to walk around, go to the library, go to the community center, watch movie. These are our main activities.
And the Naval Base School is still around, right?
Naval Base, but they even relocated. The Naval Base School is still around, but it's not that Naval Base School I went to. Now it's a very good structure. It's a very good building now. Not what we used to have in the 1960s.
Yeah. That's moving around is part of the story of Singapore, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe the name is still around, but the location is completely different.
Yes, exactly. Right. Those are even RI, during my days, RI was not, a reference institution. There was somewhere in town. Nowadays, what do you call the shopping center is there. Right. Beside the city hall MRT, it used to be around there, former RI.
Of course, the best example in the northern part is, of course, Chong Pang Village, right?
Yes, Chong Pang Village.
Now Chong Pang Village is in a totally different location from the old Chong Pang Village.
Yes. Completely beyond recognition. But this way, church, I think the church is still there, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one? At Chong Pang?
In Chong Pang, there used to be a church, along outside Naval Base. I'm not so sure whether the church is still there or not. And there's to be just outside the Naval Base, they used to have a church there.
Interesting times, when the British were there.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, the British, they don't mingle much with us. And I mean, maybe they keep to themselves most of the time. I mean, they don't really come and mingle with us. But only in Naval Base, I remember when there's any cultural show, the head of the Naval Base used to come and participate in, normally they have ornament and all this, they have some cultural show and all, say, hey, one group will come there, and all of them will be VIP treatment, all were seated in front, they'll watch the singing and dancing and all this. So during the 1960s, as I remember saying. But Nee Soon, they don't have much cultural activities, as such. In Sembawang, there are a lot of Indians, there are a lot of cultural activities. And normally, any important event, they always used to come down and participate. In fact, in 1965, I still remember, and Lee Kuan Yew came down to Singapore to train Nara Mission in 1965. It was September the 9th, I think, something like that. And I was there, in fact, that was Lee Kuan Yew's first public appearance after Singapore gained independence. Because Singapore gained independence in the 9th of August. This was, I think, on the 4th of September. It was on a Sunday, So I still remember he come there, he gave a speech in English, and even he laid out this, quite a visionary, laid out how Singapore will be in future. He made a speech, he speak in English and Malay. But the audience there were mainly Indians. I still remember that he gave away 10 scholarships and he left. That was in 1965.
This was when he talked about Singapore becoming a metropolis.
A metropolis, yes.
Right.
I was there, yeah.
As well as that, Singapore will always respect racial harmony and the rights of minorities.
Yeah. He made all speeches, yeah. It made a very important speech. I think he spelled out the policies of what should be Singapore in the future. I still remember him. He came, he was very simply dressed, wearing short sleeves and all in white. Very simply dressed. He'd come there.
This was actually just 1 month, I think,
after
1 month, Singapore left. Right?
Yes. Less than 1 month. I think this happened on Sunday, September 3rd or 4th. It was on a Sunday. Just 1 month after Singapore independence. August. This is September.
Did he look at all under pressure, stressed? Because those were very difficult times.
Yes. But I think he come there. He was quite. He didn't report in. I also remember he didn't report to any notes about just off the cuff speech. And he was very, 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 very. He was very calm. He was very forceful. I still remember. He was very assertive when he gave the speech. And the audience there all were very listening in what attention. Nobody said anything after he left us.
Well, thank you very much, Asokan, for sharing with us your rich memories of Nee Soon and Sembawang. This particular place called Transit Road and the BOD.
Yes. The BOD Transit Road.
Yeah.
And also the Naval Base line.
Yeah, that the northern part of Singapore actually has a very rich history, and is very fondly remembered by many Singaporeans who live there. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Okay, nice to see you.
Bye, Asokan.
Okay, bye. Thank you.